And men, by the way, if I can make you uncomfortable for a minute, pornography does the exact same thing. There's another study out, another book, talks about how porn rewires the male brain. And it's not just males. The fastest growing constituency of people addicted to pornography are women. I don't know if you knew that. Women are becoming addicted to porn just as fast as men are. And what pornography does is that it rewires your brain. The chemicals that are released every time that you do that with pornography in front of you, you are training your brain to believe certain things. You're training your brain to believe, number one, a real body isn't good enough. It's got to be digital. It's got to be on a screen. It's got to be in high def. You're training your brain to believe that only one body isn't good enough. And you're training your brain to believe that my wife's body isn't good enough. And you say, oh, I don't believe that. Well, that's what you're telling your brain every time that you engage in sexual activity through pornography. You think about the Germans, the Nazis. How is it that the Nazis were able to do unspeakable, horrific evils to the Jews? It's not just because they were evil people. It's because from a very young age, they had trained their brain to think about Jewish people as less than human. And therefore, since they weren't real human beings, since they were just objects that you could treat any way that you wanted to, they were able to do horrific things. And the reason that rape is on the rise, sexual assault is on the rise, is because we have a generation of men who look at women as nothing more than sexual objects. They've trained their brain to think about another person not as a human being created in the image of God, but as a person that they can use to meet their sexual fantasies. And whether you like it or not, that's what you're teaching your brain every time you engage in pornography. So it's got to stop. If you're married and you are watching porn, you are undermining your capacity to give yourself to your wife. Maybe you don't want to believe it, maybe you don't think that about yourself, but I cannot tell you. I'm only 29 years old. I can't tell you the number of guys who've come into my office sexual frustrated because they cannot please their wife. They've got true sexual dysfunction diseases because they watch too much porn. And they didn't think that's what it was, but you dig a little deep and say, you watching porn? How often are you watching porn? Well, is it really every day? Well, actually, there's studies out that show that pornography watching is rewiring your brain so that you can't even please your wife physically anymore. If you're married and you've got pornography in your marriage, it has got to stop. It is killing your relational capacity.